Hello friends. So this is the 39th lecture on the history of the English language. We are coming to the end of the Middle English period and we are going to start the modern English period. And you can see in the last class we were confused and confounded by the multiplicity of dialects in the Middle English. Dialects of Middle English in the Middle English period. We saw there were many, so to say, but there were four groupings. Within the same county, there were differences. County means district. But there were four groupings we saw. First one was, you remember? First one, Southern dialects, East Midland dialect, West Midland dialect, and Northern dialects. Northern dialects, yes. So, Southern, East Midland, West Midland, and Northern. Now, East Midland and West Midland together, we have got a label that is Midland dialects. Now, by the 14th century, end of 14th century, one of these dialects gained popularity, and then it became, or it was accepted, it cannot become now, it was accepted as the standard form of English. So, at the end of the 14th century and throughout 15th century, this was used. Some people used it, some people still, as we have seen in the last class, still there was no uniformity, but it took about a century or so to come to an agreement that which one of these dialects should be considered as or should be accepted as the standard form. Now many, you can see, recognition of a standard form in speech and writing. By end of 15th century, throughout the 15th century there was this what we can say, the oscillation now, whether this or that. See that? Now, by the end of the 15th century, the East Midland type of English, the East Midland dialect, so emerged, the East Midland dialect emerged as the hero. Midland dialect emerged as the hero or the standard. It was accepted as standard both in speech and in writing. And what were the historical reasons for this? Half a dozen plus historical reasons for this. To begin with, there are three main reasons. First is London as the capital of England. East Midland dialect was, London is, so to say, in the East Midland dialect, in East Midland dialect area. And so, what is spoken in London, capital of England, that is accepted. Like the French of Paris as the standard form. Understand? Therefore, like that. So, whatever is spoken in the capital, because capital, people from different parts of the country come now. They come into contact with the speech, the style, the idiom of the capital city, and they go back. They take this idiom back with them to their local areas, and then they tell people that, oh, there is a standard form like this. We should conform our speech to that standard form. So that's one thing. Second major reason is the importance of the presence of two universities in this East Midland dialect area, Cambridge and Oxford. Of this, Cambridge played a very important role. And third and the most important we can say, or one of the most we can say, is the introduction of printing in England by William Caxton in 1476. And there were some other reasons also. We will take one by one. This I just told you, in case you forget all the other reasons or causes, at least you remember these three. That is London as the capital of England, presence of Cambridge, influence of Cambridge and Oxford's masters, professors and teachers and so on, and also printing press. Understand? Now you will take one by one. Let's consider as the main points. Okay. So East Midland dialogue. First is that the middle position. The middle position of this East Midland dialogue. Middle position. It was neither conservative. It was neither so conservative as the southern nor as radical as the northern. Because conservative means, conservatism in language means the tendency to retain all the inflections, no? And radical is to do away with these inflections. So there are two such extreme views. Should we keep it or should we not? The southern dialects, the Midland dialects, especially East Midland dialect, there is a compromise. So in between, so you can say. See that? So less radical than the north and less conservative than the south. The intermediate position of this dialect, and it was recognized by John Trevisa. Remember yesterday we had, no? The middle position, the intermediate position. That is the key word, intermediate position of the Midland dialect, East Midland dialect, of this dialect. Understood, no? Of East Midland dialect. So it was recognized by John Trevisa, the translator, the great translator of Trevisa, the translator of many Latin books. Many Latin books. So that is his testimony, that this was comparatively, there is a compromise solution, so you can say. So neither as radical as the, neither so radical as the north, nor as conservative as the south. Already I told you, conservatism in language means retaining the old forms. That is the conservatism means. Understand? Yes. The second is that the importance of East Midland dialect. Importance. One is the first is we have already seen middle position, intermediate position, recognized by great writers, great translators like John Trevisa. That's understood. Then importance of the land. So it is populous. It is thickly populated, and economically very prosperous, economically prosperous, and you can also see that vastly richer and more prosperous. Vastly richer and more prosperous. So that is another reason. See, for example, when you find, once I told you, why has English become an international language? One of the reasons is being spoken by the Americans. Because they are powerful people. It's natural. It's natural. So that is, it has prominence in political affairs. So economics, politics, political. So these are the reasons. Political affairs. So you have got all the three. You have got population, you have got it is rich, and also it has got a political importance. Understand? East Midland district and East Midland dialect. I think these two reasons you have all taken down, causes you have taken down. One, the middle position of this. Neither too conservative, nor too radical. Then second is the importance of this, the district asset and the people, population, political, and also prosperity. Understand? I think you have taken down these 2 points. Now just a few more points, simple narration. And the third point is, already I have told you, the presence of Oxford and Cambridge. Of these, historians say the major contribution to this evolution of standard English made by Cambridge University and the Cambridge Masters rather than Oxford. So whatever it is, the presence of both the universities, of course you can see now, think of any university place near to that will definitely become important, and the university fixes a standard in academic matters. A university fixes certain standards, determines a certain standard. So here these two universities they started using and also helping the spread of East Midland type of English. Understand? Then the fourth point is, of course, the father of English literature, you said, that is Geoffrey Chaucer. Chaucer used the London tongue. Chaucer used the London tongue in his magnum opus, means great work. That is Latin, magnum opus. Magnum opus. Opus means work. Magnum means great work. And you know that, the Canterbury Tales. Prologue to Canterbury Tales, the characters there, they speak the speech of London trippingly on the tongue. Trippingly on the tongue, that means so fluently. What do you hear, when you hear them speak, that is the London tongue that they are using. That's why Margaret Schlock, this famous writer, Margaret Schlock, in her book English in Modern Times, published in 1960, she has a very famous quotation. Exact words I forget, but the meaning is this: not only did Chaucer choose the London tongue because it alone was living, but he he embellished it. He embellished it with the graces that he had imbibed of French and Italian literatures. That is it. These are not exact words, this is the meaning. That means, simple English means, Chaucer chose the London tongue, that is a great thing, because it was a living tongue, because it was accepted by all the people. And thirdly, he embellished it, means decorated it with all kinds of graces that he had learned from the French and Italian literatures. So that is the meaning. Exact words, I am sorry, I forgot, but what she meant is this: the use of London tongue in a great work like, great literary work like the Canterbury Tales. Very important, isn't it? See, for example, you can see now, when writers start using a particular variety of language, it attains a higher position. That's we must say, that's a normal thing. You know. So like that, Chaucer was the Middle English is known as Chaucer's English. So Chaucer uses the language, naturally it will become prominent. So Chaucer's contribution you cannot deny. Some historians say Chaucer's contribution is insignificant towards the development of standard English, but there are many other people, as I already told you about Margaret Schlock in her book, etc. I told you. So that we have to accept. I am not a big, great man, but still I think that when you go through the Canterbury Tales, at least you must have gone through the prologue to Canterbury Tales, the characterization and so on, portrait gallery, then you will see the speech. So what is written, the description and so on, you will find it is almost like modern English. So that means almost like, except they say, for example, when that April with the shore suited, but without any translation we can understand. When that April with the shower sweet, we can understand. Make and melody means makes melody, singing, isn't it? Such things we can understand even without the help of a guide or a translation. So near to, you can see it approaches a modern English, that is standard English. So Chaucer's contribution you cannot deny. Understand? Yes. Then fourth is, fifth is, we already said, London as the capital of England. London as the capital of England. As the capital of England. That is the fifth one. As capital city, of course, is the most important city. In capital, we can see in our state capitals now, people go there from all over the country, and villages and towns, because there are many things to get things done. They have to get things done by the government officers and so on. So they have to go. So when they go, they will listen how the civilized people are speaking. Naturally, there is a tendency to climb the ladder, right? So they will try to take the London idiom with them to their local areas. So so it's a kind of give and take. There were some good points from local dialects the London language took, and from London language means language cannot know the speakers. So they accepted good things from the local, and they when the local people came and listened to the people speaking, they understood that, oh, there are some wrong usages that we are making, or pronunciation is not right, pronunciation is not standard. So when we come here, we have to use standard pronunciation. At that time, it was the language of the, language spoken in London. So it was a kind of given. The seat of the courts that was London, tribunals in London. So you have to come there for many things. Therefore, it was really a great help, so to say. In fact, London as the capital of English played a key role in the development or the evolution of, because it's importance, the importance of the capital, that's the thing. Like in France, Parisians. Yes, so it is, Albert C. Bow says that the history of English is almost the history of London English. We can quote this. Albert C. Bow says the history of English, standard English, the history of, please take this down, history of standard, you can quote this in your examination papers. The history of standard English is almost the history of London English. The history of standard English is almost the history of standard English. Sweet and short quotation, but it will speak volumes, because I already told you in the beginning of this class that London English is you can say the nucleus you cannot say, but the commonly accepted speech. So what happened is that other people spreading, considered to be standard. That's why Albert C. Bow says the history of standard English is almost the history of London English. Understand? So you can quote video. Yes. So English, the court of law, London, the court of law, and lots of things. Yes. So then, fifth cause, which also I told in the beginning, and that is, so this is fifth one already we have seen London as London English, the importance of London English, and the sixth is introduction of printing. Introduction of printing in 1476 by William Caxton, one of the major figures we can never forget. He was a great translator. He in his translations he used the London idiom, and in printing he used the London idiom. Printing means it is as we can see, think of letterpress and DTP, this like that. Letterpress, you remember, say 5-10 years ago, how things used to be printed. A small type, etc. They spread it like this, and a lot of problems, ink and black ink, red ink, and so. But today, what about so that has been, that technology has simply disappeared. So before introduction of printing, what did they do to spread ideas and spread books translated and so on? Manuscript. This is down and write, 100 persons, 1,000 persons. They are being employed for writing. But now, when the printing was appeared, that technology of manuscript writing just disappeared. And not only that, in quantity wise, see that when we have printing, then you can have thousands of copies, no? And also within a short period of time. So the printers started using this London term. That's a very important thing, isn't it? The printers. Translators, they use the London term. Because the type, the type they made was that of the London term. So it spread like, it spread like wildfire, we can say. What? London English. Because of the work of the translators. See that? So that is, in fact, it played a key role. And that's what I already told you also. Isn't it? Translation London English. So in the 16th century, the use of London English had become a matter of precept as well as practice. By 16th century. So what happened is, in 16th century, precept and practice. These are the two keywords. So the use of London English had become a precept, means a law, a rule, precept and a practice. So it has become the standard language of England. So you have got the introduction of printing. So you have got the influence of printing. So you have got a half a dozen reasons for that. Understand? So then you have got, you remember the first two I had given you, like the middle position, and so once again if you go through, you will find the major points, main points that we discussed, and because of these causes, what happened is that London English became the standard language, standard English. Now we can begin with our English language study in a better way, because otherwise what do you say? That is standard, this is standard, this is standard. So 4 standards. So which one you have to do? See, it is like, as you have said, you are confused, in such situation you are confused. So the reasons you can see: first, the middle position, the intermediate position, intermediate position of the East Midland dialect. Second, you can see the importance of East Midland dialect. Dialect is East Midland district, importance. We know it is thickly populated, prosperous, and political importance, etc. Then you see the third is Oxford and Cambridge. And between them we have got Cambridge is again a contribution was greater than that. And then fourth we saw Chaucer's influence, a great writer like Chaucer. He used the London tongue. And then we saw the fifth one, we saw the importance of London English. And you have got the sixth one, that is sixth one is, you have seen what is the sixth one, that is influence of printing press. Yes. Printing press. And if you want, you can 1476. One more point you can add, that is English used in writing records. Official records, parliamentary reports, and so on. That also you can say seventh one. So with this result word, and we have already seen a quotation, that is the history of standard English, almost the history of London English we have seen, isn't it? And in art of English poesy, author is not known, but it is a conjecture is that it was written by Putnam. He says something. What does he say now? He shall therefore take the usual speech of the court. That's what he says. He shall therefore take the usual speech of the court. Usual speech of the court means that is the London English, standard English, and that of London, and that of, clearly see, and that of London. So that means you should use it, he says. Putnam, he says, you should use it, and the shires lying about London, and the shires lying about London. So this is a kind of precept, a rule. So Putnam, an authority, he says in his art of English poesy, whether he has written it or not, somebody has written it, then to that he has, the author has included this direction. What is that? E means you. You shall therefore take the usual speech of the court. Speech of the court is speech of the London dialect, and that of London. That is the city. The court and the city, and the shires lying about it. Means districts lying about it. Villages and towns lying about it. So that means what? London tongue, or the dialect of London, that is the East Midland dialect, had been accepted by the 16th century as the standard form of English. So you have got 7 causes. Once again, intermediate position, north, south, middle. And Trevisa is the authority. Importance of East Midland districts. So simple. Oxford and Cambridge. Chaucer used London English capital, printing press, and English used in records, parliamentary proceedings and court and so on. So it becomes London English becomes the standard English. But still, please don't think that complete uniformity was attained. It took some more time, of course. When somebody comes up as prominent, there is no other challenger, then what happens is that nobody to compete. So it will slowly develop. Finally, you remember, as I told you the other day, it became the standardization of English actually took place in the 18th century with the appearance of that great man, that is 1755, Dr. Samuel Johnson, a dictionary of the English language. Single-handed he prepared it. So he is the lexicographer of English language. With that, of course, the standardization, the story of standardization has been completed, or it has come to an end. Now it's about expansion and growth. Understand? That is about 18th century, from 18th century. In writing in the art of the essay of English poesy, John Dryden says, our language is the most perfect language, he says. It is stated in that. Our language is the most perfect, because there is a comparison between French theatre and that of the French and the ancients, and even moderns, that is Elizabethan. Then he says, by 17th century, Dryden declares that our language is the most perfect language. That means our language is a standard language, isn't it? Nobody can question it. So to that extent. So 16th century almost it has, the story comes to an end. But it took, say, a few more years, you can say, a few more decades, you can say, for Dryden to declare that our language is the most perfect of all other languages. And with that we can conclude the discussion on the evolution of standard English. It's a very important topic for examination and also for your UGC net. Some days they may ask you the importance of Caxton in fixing the standard, or you can say Oxford or Chaucer or the East Midland dialect, East Midland district, you see, or use of in writing, any one of these things. Any half a dozen plus one, I told you, 6 plus 1 causes for accepting or recognizing the East Midland type of English, especially the language of London, the idiom, the London idiom, as the standard variety of English. See that? Okay, I hope that you have followed me. There's nothing philosophical about it, only historical reasons. We have got 7 historical reasons, that's all. I think that you can easily remember that. I hope that you are enjoying my classes, you are following my classes. So tomorrow, to fresh foods and pastures new. That is, we will have a new topic tomorrow, okay? And that will be Renaissance, the importance of Renaissance and the impact of Renaissance on the English language. That's what we are going to do next. So stay tuned means stay subscribed. That's it. People say stay tuned. So what I have to say is stay subscribed. Also tell your friends and fellow students to do the same so that it will be useful to them also. If this is useful to you, that's the condition. Okay? So see you again with another installment of the history of the English language. Next time, till then, bye. Have a nice day.